Thanks for stopping by the Minnesota Black Robe Regiment channel. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk about Governor Tim Walz, which is not a new topic for me. It will come as no surprise to pretty much anybody who's tuned in to any of my videos. In the last several days, as I filmed this particular video, Governor Walz has really been pounding home the idea of all the deaths in Minnesota. And I want to say that every death related to COVID-19 or anything else for that matter is incredibly tragic. I don't feel any less sorrow for a family who has lost loved ones for COVID-19 than I do for someone who loses loved ones in a traffic accident or to cancer. What I want to get at is that as I shoot this video, Minnesota just reached 2,000 deaths in its fight against COVID-19. The United States has just reached 200,000 deaths throughout the United States. The problem that I'm having with Governor Walz is his constant pounding on the number of people that are dying from COVID-19. And here's why. In 2019, the state of Minnesota saw approximately 10,000 deaths due to abortion. That's, on average, about 27 deaths a day. I know that there are varying opinions on abortion. If you have any position on abortion other than the fact that it is murder, you're wrong. Period. Objectively wrong. Abortion is murder. I don't care how you feel about that. But our Governor Tim Walz, is driving home this 2,000 deaths in Minnesota and how tragic that is and how we have to do something to combat all these deaths. And I want to ask the Governor, what have you done about abortion, Governor? What have you done to quell the Minnesota genocide, the Minnesota Holocaust of preborn image bearers of Christ, the preborn image bearers of God? Nothing, Governor. In fact, your position is to defend abortion on demand in the state of Minnesota. You will not do anything to lessen the number of abortions in the state of Minnesota. You may say things along the lines of, well, I'm not personally, going to go get an abortion or want anybody in my family to get one, but you haven't done anything to stop abortion in the state of Minnesota. In fact, Governor, you harp on the idea of the racial disparity, the ethnic disparity of deaths related to COVID-19 in the state of Minnesota, pointing out how black Minnesotans and other ethnic minority Minnesotans are disproportionately affected by COVID-19, whether they're dying or are contracting it or having contracted it. But you've never once touched on the reality that abortion across the board in the United States and the state of Minnesota almost exclusively affects ethnic minorities at much higher rates than it does white citizens of Minnesota. And and I want to touch on something, Governor, that your models early in the COVID-19 pandemic said that that we were going to be looking at upwards of 74,000 deaths in the state of Minnesota if we didn't shut down, and 50,000 deaths if we did shut down. And so now you're going to argue that, well, because we shut down and because we've done this mask mandate and all these other things, we've kept those deaths low, but we've got to do something even more to completely stop all death from COVID-19. That's your goal. You've talked about it. We've got to do something to end COVID-19. You've talked extensively about how you are going to keep these mandates in place until we have a vaccine. You've talked about, we've got to quell this before we can start lifting any of these restrictions. But Governor, you haven't done a darn thing to spare the lives of ethnic minorities, or any child for that matter, in the state of Minnesota. You're using fear. You're using scare tactics. You're using your power as governor to drive an agenda that's meant to control the people of Minnesota by claiming that you care about life. But you don't, Governor. You don't care about life, Governor Walz. Every day in the state of Minnesota, 27 to 30 babies are ripped apart in the womb of their mother, or they're burned to death with a saline abortion. Every day. To the tune of almost 10,000 babies in 2019. Now, that number may go down in 2020, but I doubt it, because you've allowed abortions to continue when you shut down other elective medical procedures in the state of Minnesota for COVID-19. But you allowed abortions to continue. Now, Governor, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you care about life. I believe that you care about control. That's what you do, Governor. You control. And you use fear to control your people. Because you've forgotten who you work for. And once again, every death from COVID-19 is tragic. But it doesn't overcome the Holocaust that is abortion in the state of Minnesota. Those babies that are ripped apart, that are burned to death in their mother's wombs, with the consent of their mother, and at the hands of doctors who should be sparing lives and not taking them. That happens on your watch. Those abortion death camps happen on your watch, Governor. And what are you going to do about it? So don't tell us, we the people of the state of Minnesota, that you care about sparing lives when you won't do anything to protect the most innocent and helpless people in the state of Minnesota. The scriptures say that God has formed and knitted every person in the womb of their mother. And that one of the most ultimate signs of evil are people who are swift to shed blood. And there is no greater example of that than shedding the blood of innocent preborn children for the sake of convenience, calling it a medical necessity, while you destroy a state for a virus that has a better than 95% survival rate. You are an evil, wicked man, and I only can pray that God will have mercy on you and be long patient and long suffering towards you as you continue to ignore the Holocaust of death that's happening right under your nose on your watch. Any good deed that you think you've done by helping prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the state of Minnesota will burn up when you face judgment. And God will parade in front of you a picture, an image of every single child that you allowed to be murdered on your watch by way of legal abortion. Shame on you, Governor Walz. Repent and turn and call on Christ while you still can.